thing. Do you remember a couple of years ago, the hot felon?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't think he was hot. Ew.
All right. I have a picture of him.
Way.
Here he is, cleaned up a little bit.
That man will not split the check.
Yeah, this guy does not look like he's interested in splitting the check. I've got a picture of him now. He's cleaned up a little bit because here he is. Okay, here's the hot felon dressed up. What do you say? What is that when you put just like when you put a suit on and pretend you're rich? I don't know. That's what this guy's doing. He like got a glow up basically, right? So, okay. So here is the hot felon. His name is Jeremy Meeks. You may recall that a couple years ago, he was serving time in prison in California for, I can't remember, some kind of like petty theft stuff, felony, light felony stuff, maybe burglary or something like. Nothing like, it's bad, but it's not like...
It wasn't a violent crime.
Not a violent crime. Thank you. Those are the words I'm looking for. Okay, so then his mugshot or something got released and everyone was like, oh my God, this felon's so hot felon. Okay, and then he must have been done serving his time. So he got connected with this woman who's in this picture. Her name is Chloe Green. Do you know who she is?
No.
I didn't either. Chloe Green is the heiress to Topshop, which is like the UK's Nordstrom, right? And they had a baby together. She like fell for hot felon. Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a baby together.
That's what going viral can get you.
I mean, it can get you a serious glow up. It's practically like he won the lottery.
He did.
He did.
Except he has to be in this interpersonal relationship.
Yeah, but they're on the rocks
There's
now.
that. When you win the lottery, you just get the money.
That's true. And if you use people for money and status, then you are stuck with the people you're using for money and status.
And that gets complex.
Complicated. So anyway, they're on the rocks though.
Weird
because
power dynamic.
They had a baby, but he was not around for the baby's first birthday. So he missed the son's first birthday party. And so Chloe is like not having it. She's mad at him and she's going to replace him with a different hot felon. Hot felons are replaceable. Don't you forget it. And
they're all replaceable, ladies.
They're all replaceable, which is why go ahead and replace the one that wants to split the check on the first date. Next. Forget it. So I was just thinking about, there was this episode. Did you ever watch 30 Rock?
I did.
Okay, there was this episode where Liz Lemon has like kind of a meltdown about the fact that this guy she's dating is super hot and he like lives in a hot person bubble, like a privilege bubble around being hot.
Right.
And I feel like that might be what's happening to Jeremy Meeks.
Explain.
The hot felon. Well, it's like, okay, he did some time for whatever kind of crime because his hotness couldn't get him out of that. But then he was like, he like got, rocketed into stardom or whatever because he was like kind of good looking. And now like he doesn't have to play by the same rules.
Yeah, I don't know. It just reminds me of the story I already told about when I was in high school and I dated that guy who looked just like James Dean.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And he was a crazy person.
He was crazy.
Yeah.
Like looks can be deceiving.
Looks can be deceiving.
Just because he's hot and just because he got a glow up doesn't mean he's a good person a good dad.
It's a good reminder.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, so he could be in a hot person bubble all he wants. He's never going to be in the good person bubble, or maybe he will, but that's going to be a journey for him, for Mr. Meeks.
Maybe
Mr.
this is
Meeks
his dark
could
night.
be on the journey. I don't know.
Yeah. And he's going to have to do some work, right? Because you're right. Just because he's a hot person doesn't mean he's a good person.
Right.
Right.
And doesn't mean he's a good father, and doesn't mean that he's marriage material. Or did they get married?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But anyway, I don't know. It was like kind of an interesting story because I hadn't heard anything about hot felon for a while, and here he is back in the news. So
yeah, I feel darkness around that.
Speaking